In the quiet corners of our world, where time seems to slow and the rush of life fades into whispers, a tiny creature moves with deliberate grace. It carries its home on its back, a spiral of secrets forged by nature over millions of years. This is the snail, a silent wanderer, a humble architect of survival, and a marvel of evolution. To many, it's just a garden pest, a slow-moving nuisance. But look closer, and you'll find a story of resilience, adaptation, and beauty that rivals the grandest tales of the animal kingdom. Welcome to the world of the snail. In this journey, we'll explore the snail's hidden life, from its ancient origins to its role in ecosystems across the United States. We'll uncover its surprising strength, its quiet influence, and the lessons it holds for a world that never stops moving. This is a story of slowness in a fast-paced age, of survival in the smallest of spaces, and of a creature that has thrived for over 500 million years. Let's begin. The snail's story begins long before humans walked the earth. Fossils like this one, found in the Badlands of Montana, tell us that snails have been here for over 500 million years. They emerged in the Cambrian seas, when life was just beginning to experiment with form and function. These early mollusks, ancestors of today's snails, were pioneers of survival. Their secret? The shell, a masterpiece of natural engineering. The snail's shell is more than a home. It's a fortress, a shield, and a work of art. Made of calcium carbonate, it grows with the snail, spiraling outward in a pattern that mirrors the galaxies above. This Fibonacci spiral, a mathematical marvel, is nature's way of maximizing strength and efficiency. From the rocky coasts of Maine to the lush forests of Oregon, snails have carried this design through eons, adapting to every environment they've encountered. In the United States, over 1,200 species of land snails alone thrive in every imaginable habitat, from the arid deserts of Arizona to the humid swamps of Louisiana. Each species has tweaked its shell's design to suit its world. Some are as small as a grain of rice, others as large as a golf ball, but all share that ancient blueprint, a testament to their enduring success. Snails are mollusks, part of a vast family that includes octopuses, clams, and squid. But unlike their ocean-dwelling cousins, land snails have mastered life on terra firma. Their journey from sea to land was a bold evolutionary leap, one that required new ways of breathing, moving, and surviving. And at the heart of this transformation is a trait that defines them: slowness. In a world obsessed with speed, the snail is an anomaly. It moves at a pace that feels almost defiant, less than an inch per minute for some species. But this slowness is no accident. It's a strategy, honed over millions of years, to conserve energy, avoid predators, and thrive in a world that doesn't always notice them. The snail's movement is a marvel of biomechanics. Its foot, a single powerful muscle, contracts in waves, propelling the snail forward on a thin layer of mucus. This slime isn't just a lubricant, it's a chemical Swiss Army knife. It protects the snail from sharp surfaces, deters predators with its bitter taste, and even carries pheromones to attract mates. Scientists in Washington state have studied this mucus, hoping to mimic its properties for medical adhesives or lubricants. To an American gardener, that silvery trail might signal an enemy. Snails are often cast as villains, munching through lettuce and roses with relentless determination. But this reputation overlooks their role as nature's recyclers. Snails feed on decaying plants, fungi, and even dead insects, breaking down organic matter and returning nutrients to the soil. In the forests of the Pacific Northwest, they're vital to the ecosystem, helping to decompose fallen logs and enrich the earth. To a child, a snail is a tiny miracle, a living jewel that carries its home wherever it goes. This curiosity, this sense of wonder, is what the snail inspires when we pause to look. In a culture that celebrates hustle and productivity, the snail invites us to slow down, to notice the small, to find beauty in the ordinary. Look closely at a snail, and you'll see a creature of surprising complexity. Those delicate tentacles aren't just for show. The upper pair house eyes that can detect light and shadow, while the lower pair are sensitive to smell and touch. Snails don't see the world as we do, but they navigate it with an exquisite sensitivity to their surroundings. Snails are hermaphrodites, hermaphrodites, meaning each individual has both male and female reproductive organs. This gives them remarkable flexibility in mating. In a quiet corner of a Texas garden, two snails might engage in a slow, intricate courtship dance, exchanging tiny calcium-based love darts to stimulate each other before mating. It's a ritual as old as their lineage, a reminder that even the smallest creatures have complex lives. In the United States, Hawaii is a hotspot of snail diversity, home to some of the most beautiful and endangered species. The Oahu tree snails, with their rainbow-hued shells, are a symbol of the island's fragile ecosystems. Once abundant, many of these species are now threatened by habitat loss and invasive predators like rats and chameleons. Conservationists in Honolulu are working tirelessly to save them, breeding snails in captivity and reintroducing them to protected forests. These efforts remind us that snails, though small, are vital threads in the tapestry of life. They're pollinators, decomposers, and prey for birds, frogs, and even fireflies. In the wetlands of the Everglades, snails like the Florida tree snail are a key food source for the endangered Everglades kite, a bird whose survival depends on healthy snail populations. From coast to coast, snails have carved out niches in every corner of the United States. In the deserts of the Southwest, species like the white desert snail survive extreme heat by sealing themselves inside their shells, entering a state of dormancy called estivation. They can remain this way for months, waiting for a rare rain to awaken them. On the Atlantic coast, marine snails like the common periwinkle thrive in the intertidal zone, where land and sea collide. These snails graze on algae, shaping the coastal ecosystem and providing food for crabs and shorebirds. Their shells, weathered by the tides, are a testament to their resilience in one of the harshest environments on Earth. In America's agricultural heartland, snails are both friend and foe. Farmers spend millions each year battling snails and slugs that threaten crops. Yet, in organic farming, snails are being studied as natural pest controllers, eating the eggs of other insects. It's a delicate balance, one that highlights the snail's dual role as both a challenge and an ally. In cities like New York, snails are finding new roles in urban ecosystems. Community gardens and green rooftops are becoming havens for these small creatures, reminding us that even in concrete jungles, nature finds a way. The snail's quiet presence is a bridge between the urban and the wild, a reminder that life persists in the smallest of spaces. Beyond their ecological roles, snails have left their mark on human culture. In medieval Europe, knights were sometimes depicted battling snails in manuscripts, a quirky symbol of patience overcoming pride. In America, snails have appeared in folklore, literature, and even pop culture, from children's books like The Snail and the Whale to the slow but steady mantra of the tortoise and hare fable. In the culinary world, snails have a place of honor. Escargot, a French delicacy, is a favorite in fine dining across the United States, from New Orleans to San Francisco. Farmed snails, often the European white snail, are raised in controlled environments, ensuring sustainability. For some, it's a taste of tradition. For others, a bold adventure. Among Native American tribes, snails often appear in stories as symbols of perseverance and humility. The Cherokee tell of a snail that carried its home through floods and storms, teaching the value of carrying one's strength within. These stories resonate in a modern America, where the snail's quiet resilience feels like a lesson for our times. As we look to the future, the snail faces challenges. Climate change, habitat destruction, and invasive species threaten snail populations across the United States. In California, the decline of native snails has ripple effects, impacting birds, amphibians, and even plants that rely on snails for seed dispersal. Yet there is hope. Scientists are uncovering the snail's remarkable ability to adapt. Some species can alter their shell thickness in response to predators, while others have developed resistance to pollutants. In laboratories and field stations across the country, researchers are working to protect snail habitats and reintroduce endangered species. The snail's story is far from over. It is a reminder that even the smallest creatures have a role to play in the grand symphony of life. They teach teach us patience, resilience, and the beauty of moving at our own pace. In a world that often feels too fast, the snail invites us to pause, to look closely, and to marvel at the wonders beneath our feet. The silent wanderer moves on, carrying its home, its history, and its lessons into the future. In its slowness, we find a rhythm that resonates with the heartbeat of the earth. The snail may be small, but its story is vast, a tale of survival, beauty, and the quiet power of persistence. As we watch it glide into the dawn, we're reminded that sometimes the smallest journeys lead to the greatest discoveries. This is the story of the snail, and it's only just begun.